I'll be talking about employee engagement and what it matters to me. Employee engagement represents the level of enthusiasm and connections employees have with their organization. It is a measure of how motivated people are to put in extra effort for their organization and a sign of how committed they are to stay there. Therefore, what are the benefits of employee engagement? Employers want engaged employees because, as well as being happier, healthier, and more fulfilled, they are more motivated and deliver improved business performance. Research has repeatedly pointed to a relationship between how people are managed, their attitudes and behavior, and business performance. Positive relationships are evidenced with profit, revenue growth, customer satisfaction, productivity, innovation, staff retention, efficiency, and health and safety performance. They are nuisance in the drivers and outcome of employee engagement, but this basic link holds true across different sectors and job roles. Conversely, having a disengaged workforce brings huge risks. As well as losses in performance, employer may lose talented people if they feel demotivated or disengaged. They may also face greater difficulties when embedding organizational change if employees are not on board. So, wider alignment with strategy and engagement with the organization is also important. This engagement may also threaten effective collaboration, innovation, and human capital management, as employees are less inclined to use their tech knowledge and skills for the good of the organization. Therefore, employee engagement is important to an organization. According to a Gallup survey in 2016 on employee engagement effect on key business outcomes, top quartile business units outperform business units in the bottom quartile. As we can see from the chart, Gallup researchers studied the difference in performance between engaged and actively disengaged work units and found that those scoring in the top half of employee engagement nearly double their odds of success compared with those in the bottom half. Therefore, if a company truly believes that employees are a company's best asset, then leaders and managers should make caring for them a priority. So, how can we apply that to the organization? Firstly, we need to measure the current level of engagement in the company. We can do it by conducting an employee engagement survey. However, we need to note that when the company asks its employees for their opinions via survey, those employees expect action to follow. But businesses often make the mistake of using employee surveys to collect data that are irrelevant or impossible to act on. Any survey data must be specific, relevant, and actionable for any teams at any organizational level. Data should also be proven to influence key performance metrics. Secondly, we need to implement the employee engagement strategy. According to McLeod's review, summarize 4 enablers that should be fundamental of any employee's engagement strategy. Leadership that gives a strong strategic narrative about the organization, where it comes from and where it's going. Defining goals in realistic everyday terms. Line manager who motivate, empower, and support their employees. Employee voice throughout the organization to challenge or reinforce the status quo and involve employees in decision making. And lastly, organizational integrity states values are embedded into organizational culture and what we say is what we do. This closely relates to the sense of fairness and trust in the organization and the psychological contract, which depends on employers delivering on their commitment and fulfilling employees' expectations. Lastly, we need to, as an organization, set key measurable indicators to measure the successfulness of the employee engagement strategy and constantly fine-tune to adapt to ever-changing business environment. So what does it matter to me? To me, employee engagement is very important now with the COVID-19 virus going around the world. Naturally, employees will be afraid of it. Besides their health, they will also be worried about their jobs, as many companies are having financial problems because of this. So what we as employers can do during this period? Firstly, we can increase our level of communication with them during this time, and also explain to everyone that there is channels of communication available for them to share their concerns with. Secondly, we will need to have a business continuity planning available and brief to all staffs, so that they will know what to do when there's a need to work from home, or if someone in the workplace was affected by the virus. Thirdly, as the virus continues to spread around the world, we need to constantly monitor the morale and engagement level of our employees. We can do this by having weekly check-in sessions or bi-weekly mini survey to ensure that any arising issues are addressed before things escalate. Lastly, the unpredictability of the COVID-19 shows that during such times, we need to ensure constant communication between all levels of the company, so that the company can, as a whole, survive this crisis. Thank you.